Hello, everybody. Happy Hump Day. It's Dave Neal, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. This is absolutely ridiculous. We've got a spoiler for Joey's season of The Bachelor. This might be the earliest. I think Reality Steve knows who wins Joey's season of The Bachelor before Joey does. You can just see Reality Steve outside of the fantasy suite. You pick Samantha. No, that's not who it is. Now, I'm going to share for you all of Reality Steve's spoilers. He posted them on his website, realitysteve.com, and he also has it on his podcast. We'll probably share a clip of the podcast later. I'm getting a little bit of a late start to the day. I got a lot going on in my household. We have cravings for pancakes by the pregnant wife, so we have to rush to go get pancakes right after this. Guys, you know how serious I take my breaking news. The only thing I take more serious than my breaking news is a pregnant wife who needs pancakes, because hey, if there's anything you can get out of being in a pregnancy as the man, it's you become the confidant. I become the driver in the getaway vehicle, but rather than getting away, we're getting to blueberry pancakes, and that's what I've got to go run to right after this. So let's get into it. Here we have, and by the way, follow me on Instagram at DNeils, patreon.com/Dave Neal. Patreon will be a little later today, probably at the 11:30 a.m. hour. We'll be putting together the afternoon podcast. And if you want the morning podcast, we revealed that a new baby rhino was born. I've got the whole story along with other good news for you on the morning podcast. All right. All your spoilers for Joey's season now up on the website. And don't comment, oh, why does he spoil it so early? If you don't want the spoilers, you know better. You know what I mean? Don't scratch the itch, if you will. All right, let's get into it. So, Reality Steve, he goes through all of the women that were eliminated night one. We don't even need to do this. We barely know Joey's name. We don't need to know everyone else's name. Photo of Joey and Daisy on their one-on-one date at the Beach Life Festival in Redondo Beach. So I believe she might have gotten the first one-on-one date, but there they were, of course. So looking very nice as they do the whole solo dance thing in the public. Of course, these spoilers available for the public, so everyone's getting to see them. That was all the way back from September. And again, of course, Joey has finished his season. It premieres something like the third week in January, which I'm very excited for. At that point, I'll have already moved to my new home in a new state. I'll have my studio set up and all of that. So anyway, they do the rose ceremony 3. He's got all of the different, so if you want to get into the full weeds on who's who, you can go do all that, but it is going to be quite a lot of people here. Let's go to the next page. He's got 3 pages full of, how did he get, by the way, I've never asked him to reveal a spoiler because you know that you shouldn't, and I don't want anyone to feel like they need to tell me something they shouldn't know, so I would never ask how he gets his spoilers. My guess is that he has a different person every season. It's not like it's just the sound guy, and it's not the maid who cleans the fantasy suite sheets, although maybe it might be, but it's usually a collective, in my opinion. Anyway, he does a one-on-one, Joey does a one-on-one date with Lexi Young, did the local date in Malta, where they went shopping and hung with locals. Again, who are some of these people? Joey spoilers, episodes 5 through 7. Of course, you can see all the group dates as they took place, I believe in Spain, right? And who's who, the arrows and all of that jazz. Then more spoilers of who makes it to this, who makes it to that. One-on-one date for Rachel Nance. So you start to see by the 5th and 6th rose ceremony who's getting the main coverage. One-on-one date to Maria Georgis, I believe that's a Greek name. Kelsey Toussaint, that sounds French to me. And anyway, the list goes on. Today's polar plunge date was a one-on-one date with Kelsey Anderson from New Orleans. By the way, I would never want a one-on-one date at a polar plunge. Shrinkage is real, and it is a curse that blesses all of us in the cold. I would like a warm plunge, if anything, just a hot tub. All right, let's go to I think the next page has the final spoilers here. So we're going to get to them. Your exclusive. So he's got the rose, the episode by episode. And then anyway, hometown dates, Bachelor Joey spoiler. Hometown date number 1 happened, and that went to Daisy right here. Daisy and Joey arriving at Daisy's house today in Minnesota for her hometown date. All right, so Daisy from Minnesota, good pick there. And then he's got photos of them leaving their hometown date. Let's go to a photo here. I mean, it looks like straight out of, terrible photos, but of course, that's what you get when someone sneaks a good photo in. So they clearly, he passed the test here at the hometowns for Daisy, making out on the steps. What are we, in high school? What are we doing over there? You know what I mean? All right, so we move it on. And someone said, how are they able to concentrate on each other with all the people constantly lingering around them? Yeah, you need to be good at compartmentalizing. All right, second hometown date goes to Jen. Is that her name? Jen? Hometown date. Jen was eliminated in Jasper, Alberta, Canada. Either Maria or Kelsey are the fourth person to round out. So he's got all of the sort of finals from the hometowns and the fantasy suite. All right, here's Joey's final three. All right, we're going to get to the final spoiler of who won, who didn't. But let's go to Joey's final three right here. Waiting for it to click in. And here it is. The final three are Daisy, Kelsey, and Rachel. That's the final three. And then, of course, Reality Steve literally must be sitting outside the window at the fantasy suites to get these spoilers. I mean, look, you hate to hear me pimping for Steve, but this is wildly impressive that he's got this much intel going on here. All right, where? Hold on a second here. Let's go to his most recent spoilers so we can see here. And again, you can go check out his blog to get all the information. But excuse me here while I'm completely lost on my page here. So here's what he has. The Women Tell All, episode 10. The final rose ceremony was Kelsey versus Daisy. Always tough to get any details in regards to how the dates with the parents went or who had which date first and stuff like that. All I care about is finding out how it ended and who Joey proposed to, if he did, and he did. Okay, are you guys ready for it? Let's get to the breaking news. We have the information of who Joey proposed to, and I like to do this kind of blue collar on the fly because I get to sort of react with you guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey's winner. Close your ears, honey. We're about to spoil this. Joey's winner for the 2024 season of The Bachelor is Daisy Kent. That's right, Daisy Kent. We're going to get to know her right now. Just like every season, people will question, people will doubt, and contestants will post stuff on social media to throw fans off. Happens every season. This one will be no different, but come finale night, this is what you'll see. Joey and Daisy got engaged in Tulum, Mexico at the end of the season. Obviously, the finale won't air until mid-March, so who knows what can happen in the next 4 months, but this is how the season ends. Have no proof that I can share, which I usually never do without outing any sources. So here it is. Your whole season laid out for you 2 months before the first episode airs on January 22nd. Sweet. Now I can just kick my feet up, relax, and wait until March as this all plays out. Enjoy, everybody. We love a good reality Steve victory lap where this is my favorite part. Look. Here, let's just go back to the beginning. He goes, well, it's finally here through a lot of sources and all the notes I've gathered throughout the season. Here are your spoilers. He goes, I'll say this one is pretty detailed. There's no other site out there that's close to having any of this. That's right. The show has one run, 15-second promo so far this season. That's it. And now from this point forward, there's really nothing else to figure out for the season. Kind of fun, no? At least for me it is. I can almost hear his chuckle right now. All right, there's Daisy. Daisy Kent, 24 years young, from San Diego, California. So it looks like she lives in San Diego, I'm guessing from Minnesota, and she has a cochlear implant, which we found very quickly from looking at this. There was a news... let me see, it might have already played here. We found a news segment on her right here. Let's have a listen and see what they had to say after this commercial break. From Tick Bite to TikTok, influencer amplifies her message to inspire millions. Oh, you see the pun they did there? TikTok to Tick Bite, amplifying her message. Daisy Kent has profound hearing loss.
Diego posted a video on TikTok that went viral with millions of views and quickly realized a lot of people are interested in her personal journey. Tonight we introduce you to San Diego State alum Daisy Kent, a new social media sensation sharing a message that's loud and clear.
Drum roll, please.
Daisy Kent never set out to be a social media influencer.
It's just gonna get better and better.
But the 24-year-old has developed quite a fan base on TikTok with more than 36,000 followers.
Guess what I got?
And videos generating millions of views.
Ever since I was a little girl, I always said when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade.
She talks about makeup, music, and fashion. But Daisy's main message is this.
Hi, I'm Daisy, and I have profound hearing loss.
She shares all about her journey.
Come with me to my audiologist appointment.
And how this electronic device is transforming her life.
So this is my cochlear implant.
Cochlear.
And then it actually comes off. So if I take it off, and then my surgery, I don't know if you can see my scar.
Daisy began to lose her ability to hear about a decade ago at the age of 15. She remembers her dad having trouble waking her up one morning.
He was like shaking me and I was like, this is weird. Looked at him, couldn't hear it. And then sat up and realized something was like wrong with my left ear.
For years,
Yikes.
doctors worked to determine a cause.
It started out as like a lot of high-pitched ringing and then just progressively got worse.
And Daisy, once a social butterfly, started to withdraw.
It was super isolating, and I have like the best family, the best friends, so I was never alone. But I think when you're going through something like that, you do feel alone in ways.
At 17, Daisy was diagnosed with Meniere's disease, a disorder of the inner ear. Then at age 21, tests confirmed she had Lyme disease.
Oh,
Lyme
no.
disease can deteriorate your hearing, so they think the Lyme caused Meniere's disease potentially.
Likely all from a
So they think the Lyme disease caused this hearing loss, all from a tick bite. My wife had Lyme disease. Lyme's disease is not what it's called. It's a Lyme disease. Don't put an S on it. Either way, pretty wild stuff. Lyme disease is an infection caused by being bitten by an infected black-legged tick, also known as a deer tick. Left untreated, it can cause long-term health consequences, including hearing loss. We actually had someone in our Patreon a few days ago say they just got bit by a tick, and my wife's recommendation was go to a doctor, and they're probably going to recommend heavy antibiotics. If you go on antibiotics as soon as you get bit by a tick, you probably have a better chance of fighting it. The longer, post infection, the harder the fighting it would be. But everyone handles it differently. But they used to say, oh, you just need antibiotics and you'll be fine. Well, times have changed. There's a lot they've unearthed about this disease and all the co-infections that come with it. I'm no expert, but I will say it is a mother effer out there. So if anyone has been bit by a tick, I think there's a difference between being bitten by a tick and having the tick latch onto you. So if it is latched on, I think it does take a little while. Again, don't take this from me. Do your own research. But pretty crazy stuff here. And also Lyme disease is something that doctors just don't want to mess around with. They don't know anything about it. We talked to so many specialists that barely knew anything. I'm like, you Googled the same thing we Googled. It's not that well researched yet. But I know for the people that have had it, there's a lot of communities that discuss it, and you need a hell of a lot of resources to fight it because it's just a very complicated disease.
tick doctors removed from her neck when she was 6.
And so they think that might have been when I contracted it, and then it can take a while sometimes for it to show up for people.
When hearing aids didn't work,
So no matter how high you would turn them up, I still couldn't understand. It sounded like very broken microphone.
she started researching cochlear implants.
I was going and looking for people who had them, and I was joining support groups on Facebook, and people would write about it and share their experience with me, but I didn't see anyone going through the process.
That's when she started documenting her journey on TikTok,
Because I've decided that I'm getting a cochlear implant.
sharing her hopes and fears.
I think it's just hard when you're going through something medical and you don't know what the outcome is going to be.
She quickly gained an audience
They actually track your eyes to see what's going on in your vestibular system.
as she prepared for her big day at UC San Diego Medical Center.
I woke up on Friday pretty nervous because it was the day I was getting my cochlear implant.
Here's Daisy, just getting ready to get into surgery.
She recorded every step.
I was in the hospital longer than expected, but I'm doing better right now. My head is just still throbbing. I'm in a lot of pain. My jaw's also super bruised.
To her monumental activation when her audiologist turned on her cochlear implant.
It sounds like aliens.
It was super cool. My mom started crying. She's the one videoing during it. But just because I'd been through so much.
How many views has your activation video had?
I think it's at 12 million.
Can hear you? Now I can't.
She's humbled her videos are resonating with a young generation of people.
So there it is. Her video had up to 12 million views. I think right now, if you search Daisy, she's actually private. Yeah, the account is now private. So I'm assuming once the season airs, she'll be coming back online. But how touching of a story to hear, just somebody who's going through her own struggles, a very unique struggle, but also plenty will identify with that. Let's see if she's live on Instagram. Boy, does this not make you feel old? She was born in 1998. Let's give her a follow there. Profound hearing loss with cochlear implant. So sharing her story. Oh, she's got a book too? Oh my gosh, look at this. She's got a book, Daisy Do, All the Sounds She Knew. Daisy Kent is an author. She wrote oh, this is so sweet. She wrote a book called Daisy Do, All the Sounds She Knew. Very nice. Should we buy the book? Let's do this. All right. Daisy Do is a heartwarming book that takes readers on a journey through a child's perseverance in the face of hearing loss. Join the spirited Daisy Do as she discovers the beauty of her favorite sounds once again, thanks to a cochlear implant. So it just goes to show you that life kind of points you in a direction. You know what I mean? You don't always get to choose the life path you get, but Daisy right here is taking the journey, which is with most modern people out here on social media, sharing it with her audience, realizing you're not alone, and all that jazz. And again, we'll have to see how this relationship plays out. Very wild stuff here that we've got. Old Bachelor Joey from the great city of Philly, brotherly love, linking up with another fantastic person from Minnesota, and maybe they'll move to SoCal together. That's the pipeline when you're on the show. Those are Reality Steve spoilers. Very interesting to hear. And I'm going to take a little bit of break. Again, got blueberry pancakes we have to go get, but we'll be back for the afternoon podcast right after this.